Beginning of day 19. It is a little after 8 a.m. Hawkeye just dropped us off. Had a great night with him and his wife, and we're jokingly calling it their hostel because they've got another friend that is staying there as well. And we just had a really great, relaxing evening and got cleaned up and back on the trail, heading to at least Puffer Shelter today, maybe a little farther, we'll see. So we're going through the tunnel under the interstate. There's a button that you push and it turns on warning lights for the vehicles, and it actually turns lights on inside the tunnel, which is kind of nice because helps them to see you better. So there's the warning light for the vehicles. Kind of nice safety measure. And we're on a road walk again, but it's not too far up and it turns into the woods. So it's about a quarter mile up this road. And you'll see double blazes on the post, LT North sign, and the white blaze. Back into the woods. So we're underneath this kind of rock ledge, and for once the long trail isn't going like directly up it somehow. This is a pretty nice little section of trail coming out of Route 2. In the distance you can see Danforth Ridge. We came down yesterday, and down below is Route 2 and Interstate 89. Just a short ways in. Nice little climb to start the morning. This is called the Climber's Path, I'm assuming because people like to go rock climbing here. Nice rock face going down. Entering Mount Mansfield State Forest. We are at the lowest point of the long trail, altitude-wise, yesterday evening and starting this morning, and by sometime tomorrow we'll be at the highest point on the long trail. The trail coming out of Route 2 has a lot of switchbacks, so this is probably, I'd say, the easiest gap we've had. So there's top to going up another switchback. I mean, don't get me wrong, you're still climbing coming out of a gap, but it's graded nicely. Not our typical long trail straight up climbs. Beautiful view of Lake Champlain to the west. So far a nice day. Might be getting some thunder showers later, we'll see. So we reached an intersection with the Duck Brook Trail, which is the old long trail. Goes down to Bolton Notch Road that direction. There's a shelter down that way, but we're continuing north on the long trail this way. So we just finished a lunch break. We found a little stream right next to the trail, about a tenth of a mile south of the trail to Buchanan Shelter, and the Buchanan Shelter is 3/10 of a mile off trail, so we figured it made more sense to just take lunch there. And now we're back on trail, headed to Puffer. We reached the trail to Buchanan Shelter, which is 3/10 of a mile downhill, down that way. It's a very nice shelter. Just didn't see any reason in going all the way down there for lunch. We're continuing north. Long trail. The trail's been really nice today. Only a few spots that were muddy. So far it's been a very pleasant day of hiking. We got to go up Bolton Mountain, which is definitely a solid climb. So we'll see you down the trail. We're coming to Harrington's View. Started to rain a little bit, so we've got the umbrellas out. And wow, the Long Trail Patrol did a great job of improving the trail out to this view, because this was in bad shape when we came here last year. So I don't know if this was done last year or earlier this year, but kudos, great job. If somebody's looking for a stealth spot, there's kind of a tiny one there by Harrington's View. Could put maybe a one-man tent, maybe possibly a two-man tent in there. There's Tupped. There's the Bolton. There's the Bolton Valley Ski Resort. And I'm not sure if I can get a view. No, Mount Mansfield's kind of clouded in. Would be way out in the distance, but it's clouded in. Pretty nice view, nonetheless. Came to this neat little spot. There's a couple of mushrooms and a spider web over there across the little pool on the stream. Just all the colors of the moss and forest. It's very serene. Our first good view of Mount Mansfield. We'll be going over that tomorrow, hopefully. There's a side trail, Raven's Wind to Trap Trail. I'm guessing that's over on Bolton Mountain Ski Resort, but I'll be honest, don't know. That's the direction we just came. A little bit of a stream on the trail, but not nearly as bad as we've seen. And here we go, and there goes Tupped, starting up Bolton Mountain. A nice little stream running down along the side of the trail up Bolton Mountain. And our climb continues. Another kind of neat spot going up Bolton Mountain. We got this rock overhang, a little stream running underneath it, and then a little waterfall there as it heads down the mountain. Bunch of metal here on top of Bolton Mountain. Don't know if there used to be a fire tower or something up here, but there would seem like there would be more metal if that was the case, but not really sure. Maybe I'll try and look into it. We're on top of Bolton Mountain, elevation 3725. It's a very short side trail to this spot, but there is no view. There is a spot where there once was a benchmark right there. And now we're gonna get back to the trail. So now we are officially done. Division 9. Our first good look at Mount Mansfield. Be doing that tomorrow. .45 almost, and looking back at Bolton Mountain where we were about an hour ago on top, we're at Puffer Shelter. There's kind of a, you aren't going to be able to see it, but zooming in, kind of an open space there on the mountain. We were there about 30 minutes ago and decided to push on to Taylor Lodge. Also a view of Lake Champlain from the same spot. An even better view of Lake Champlain coming down the north side of Mount Mayo. So the trail goes north that way, but I'm just showing you this little ravine that we're in. Thankfully we aren't like directly, that's not the trail, we're not directly climbing that. I wouldn't be surprised if we wind up there, but we're not climbing up it, thankfully.
We are heading north toward Taylor Lodge, and this is one of the root systems and rock faces that you get to go down. And they have installed a ladder, which is cabled to some trees here. Megamind is working his way down safely. We do appreciate the effort that people have made prior to us getting here.
Tup just came down that ladder, and we are heading this way. Come to a mostly dried up beaver pond here. Just a little over half a mile to Taylor Lodge. We'll be there in a little bit. So we've got to Trail Junction, Long Trail North. Goes over that way. 3.4 miles to Butler Lodge. We are not doing that tonight. Taylor Lodge, 1/10 of a mile. That sounds a little like more. Yep, there we go. So we just got to our accommodations for the evening, Taylor Lodge. It's definitely rustic. Pack it in, pack it out. Please pack out all trash. There's one guest here before us, so there's a spider right there. There's nice picnic tables. And there's the information about the site. And Daniel Perry, whom I know from Camp Sunrise, did a preservation of this in 2016 for his Eagle Scout project. And then we're going to go into the bunk area, although it's pretty dark, so we won't be able to see too much in there.
We'll pop up the windows on the other side, though.
Or try to, anyhow.
So technically there are actually 3 levels in this shelter. You have bunk space right on the just above the floor level. Then you have a platform just above that with a nice ladder built in. And then you have your loft area. That's where the ladder is.
And there is a 3rd level up here, if you're so inclined. It's pretty dark.
So we have come down to the water source at Taylor Lodge. There's a beaver pond that you first come to, and then the stream that comes out of that, and you can hear the waterfall that's heading down toward Lake Mansfield. But none of those is actually the water source. The water source is this 4-inch PVC pipe that's coming out of the hillside. But it's 2/10 down from the lodge itself. So, but nice clear water. Still want to filter or boil.
Day 19 recap. We hiked 14.1 miles from Route 2 to Taylor Lodge. rained on a little bit. The trail was actually in really good shape yesterday. There was very few places where it was stream-like, and the mud really wasn't too bad either. We got to Taylor Lodge about 7:30 last night. We pushed on from Puffer, and we actually had the lodge to ourselves, which was very nice. The water source is a good water source, but it was a long 2/10 of a mile, especially coming back up that 2/10 of a mile. But overall, a good but tiring day. And we completed Division 9 of the long trail, so we only have 3 divisions to go. And looking forward to our next day.